Welcome to my video presentation for the AAC assignment in communication disorders featuring Clayton and the Build a Town Map activity. Meet Clayton. Clayton Evans is 7 years old, has Down syndrome and functions at a 4 to 5-year-old level in receptive language skills and is primarily nonverbal. He can say 5 words although they are not intelligible to unfamiliar listeners. He communicates primarily through pointing to picture symbols and some gesturing. Clayton's mother wants him to participate in the class more and the team wants to use his AAC to help him participate in the class. The assignment: identify one subtask from the curriculum unit and plan how Clayton can participate in one classroom activity around that subtask. The curriculum subtask chosen was a 2.3 to analyze and construct simple maps as part of their investigations into places that are significant to them or to their family. The activity will be completed in Clayton's class in groups of 4. The teacher will follow a lesson explaining various jobs and roles in the community. The teacher will ask the students what jobs are in the community, what they do and where they are located in the town. The students will answer by naming jobs they know of and commenting on if they know what they do and/or where they do it. The students will be given a large, bird's-eye view map with a blank town on it. It will have roads, parks, residential, bodies of water and nature areas visually represented with large spaces. Students will also be given cutout shapes and imagery of various buildings and be tasked with building their ideal town based off of all members' suggestions. Students are encouraged to work together cooperatively and collaboratively to select various buildings, including a must-have core list of essential town buildings and one favorite building, representing a job, each.
Hi guys, I thought I'd give AI Ralph a break and actually appear in my video. Now this activity is an activity I've wanted to do for a long time. I've actually wanted to do it before I had my son who is nonverbal. I've had for my daughter, I say she had these big foam mats and I have all these buildings and stuff for my toys and I wanted to put them around and I wanted to show her where things could go and I thought maybe they can actually do this in school and I was thinking about cardboard cutouts and thanks to Gemini AI I typed it in and they actually created all those pictures. So every single photorealistic picture you see is created by Gemini AI as well as Clayton. So this Clayton, he doesn't exist, but I typed it in and I created him. So Clayton, the picture, everything of that, all the images are AI, but the activity and the game itself, that's what I've been building this idea for years. And I now actually get an idea to test it out. And now I'm probably going to put it in practice later. So thanks for this, this activity. I get to actually do it. As for the boards, I actually made them. They look amazing. So I printed them out on cardstock and then I laminated them. So the way that I organized it was that one page, as you can see, the main page with the W's and the feelings and actions and people, you can take this out of the game and use it in his everyday activities. So Clayton and his EA they can use this whenever they want. They don't actually need to keep it for the activity. Now the map, the second one, this has map items and build them items. They can all be used for the activity, but you can also use it every day. But the location, you can also basically pull this out, and he can use this in his everyday communication. So he doesn't necessarily have to keep it with the game. Now, as you can see, it's very portable, so that's why he can take it and pull it out because it's a small little card. Now, the idea of the map is for Clayton to point at whatever building he wants, or his peers to point at the buildings, and then Clayton will know what they're putting, and then Clayton can turn around and say yes or no, or whatever he wants on the decisions that his peers make. So he actually has say in what they do, not just them telling him yes or no when he puts stuff along. So that was the idea. The boards were created so his peers and the EA can talk to Clayton, and he can communicate back to them about building the buildings and where to go and where to place them and how he feels generally about the game. I will talk more about the board maker and how I feel about this project later. Now let's get back to the dulcet tones of Ralph the AI.
Clayton's achievement goals will be to communicate his choices of buildings, jobs to his CP and peers. Communicate where to place various buildings to his CP and peers. Communicate if he likes or dislikes his peer's choice. Communicate alternate options to map choices he dislikes. Communication will be achieved with a combination of sounds, gestures, and a communication board. What will he do to participate? Respond to personal yes or no questions. Choose buildings and navigate where to place them using the communication boards. Respond to team members' comments and choices using the communication boards. Choose buildings and physically place them on the map. Describe the type of responses he might make. Physical, pointing at, gesturing towards and physically placing items on various parts of the map. Using the communication board for specific choices, navigation and preferences, like, dislike, 1 or 2 word sounds for emphasis when gesturing, pointing or making board choices. Opportunities to participate include building choices, areas to place on the overall map, for example, residential area and parks, areas to place, localized on map. For example, what buildings go in the main town area and where do each of them go in that area, peer communication, picking favorite buildings, which core buildings to choose from and where to place them, and subsequent yes or no options to answer. How will I prepare Clayton for success during this activity? The boards for this activity will be placed in a secure location and I will show Clayton and the teacher, and other EAs, where it is. I will find out and show where the map and building pieces are located and show Clayton. I will find out who the 3 partners are and with the teacher's supervision, show them the communication board and how to use it to communicate to and receive communication from Clayton. How will I be an effective communicative partner? Encourage communication without requiring it. I will know where and provide access to his devices. I will use core vocabulary frequently during the day. I will actively show him how to use the core vocabulary throughout the day. I will help him make a meaningful connection between the use of the symbols and other forms of communication, smiles, frowns, body language, movements, vocalizations. I will repeat and expand on his efforts to use core vocabulary. I will model how to use the communication board and encourage him to use the board without requiring it. I will demonstrate how the symbols work to communicate, and show him what he could say. What I liked about my
I
board.
said we'd be back. Hey, so thank you for watching. And now this is the part where I tell you what I liked about the board and what I liked about the project. I liked everything about BoardMaker. BoardMaker is amazing. I'm going to be using it. I'll probably renew a license on there. It's so easy to move things around. At first, I didn't know. I made the margins at the beginning, and then I couldn't apply them universally. I had to redo the pages with the margins set in the things. Anyways, that was one of the issues I had, was playing around. But as soon as I started playing with it, 20 years of web design, this stuff, this was fun. This was like this was absolutely fun. I love doing this. I'll be making tons of boards more, but there are things I would do differently. One, I saw the idea of the card ring on one of the slides. I love that idea with the slides because I think these should be bigger, especially for my son. I would make them bigger. Might not be so many options on one card. Might not even be one whole page. Just a card with a ring around it. I also would keep them in the same style of images. So these were, I see, I was just learning, so I was kind of limited to the clip art that's there. So I would probably just personalize them. I might actually make my own images and like design my own, or get somebody to design my own little clip arts and then put them in there specifically for whatever needs that I want that are not in Board Maker. And I would also even it out, like I was just playing around with directions, and this is not really even. It should be up, but that's just the designer in me nitpicking. I really like this project, and uh, the other thing I would do also, I had an idea of putting sign language per each thing, like so just so they know that this section is the sign language. This section, um, it could just help. So I wanted to add it sign language somewhere in every single one, not just make it the board. But that's an option, an idea for the future. I'm just thinking it out. I really like this project, and actually doing this presentation helped me to go and look for AI images. So then I actually got the visual image of what I want to make in the future. So this is my presentation on the town map activity and my board maker maps for my picture exchange for Clayton. And Clayton may not exist, but my son does, and he's actually going to use these. So thank you very much.
Thank you for watching my presentation on the AAC assignment using BoardMaker.